Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to show you a couple of defensive drills that we'll do. Pretty much some warm-up drills for us every day that we're going to do some type of defensive work. These are two drills that we're going to do pretty much every single time to re-emphasize our proper footwork, to emphasize proper hip turns, defensive shuffles, and then also the last drill that I'll show you is one in which that we do. It's very simple, but it's called the tap out drill, and it just kind of gives our kids a look of someone dribbling down the court, about to beat them on a fast break, and you're trying to basically disrupt that fast break and either knock it out of bounds or steal the ball from them. So it's something that opportunities arise throughout the game constantly with that type of situation, and so it's something that it beats it into the kids' heads of if they see it, they recognize it, and they go do it. So our first one is the defensive shuffle drill, which a lot of coaches have probably already seen, but I'll talk about a different variation that we do also. So this person here that's coming out, he or she, they're facing the sideline. Basically, they're acting and simulating like they're guarding someone, okay? And they're basically going to defensive slide here. When they get to the high post, defensive slide here, and we usually have we make them go to the volleyball sleeve, pole sleeve, or some of them will go all the way to the sideline, and then they'll reverse and then reverse and end up in this corner here. And once they get done on this side, what they'll do is they'll jog over to this side, they'll do the same thing, and then we start off here, so back here and then reverse and back here. So they touch every corner of the court, and they start from there. That way they get every single angle of doing this particular drill. Okay, so points of emphasis for us that we say is our kids, they typically, especially when the newer ones start doing this, or when the beginning of training camp, is they'll start doing this and they'll be more likely to turn their head and look where they're going as opposed to keeping their head on a swivel. So I'll actually stand here, and we'll have some coaches stand here depending on what direction that they're supposed to be facing, and we'll just have a ball and we'll just hold it up, and we're saying keep your eye on me, keep your eye on the ball. That way they're sliding their feet, they're rotating their hips, but their eyes are forward constantly, and they're seeing exactly who they're supposed to be guarding. They're seeing the man, they're seeing the ball. That way they're not just kind of sliding, they're not picking up bad habits of just sliding their feet up, going all over the court, not actually seeing anything, being productive. Okay, so we're going to show you slow-mo to start. And once we get to half court, basically the next person will take off. So as you see here, defensive slide, drop your right leg back, defensive slide, drop your left leg back, and then drop your right leg back and finish. And as you see, as they get to half court, the next people will kind of go in line and start the drill. And then eventually they'll end up where they're all finished. Okay, so now start it over here. So once we get this done, and we know that we're doing it well, we'll also implement something called the two shuffle, turn and sprint. So they'll do two small defensive shuffles, and then when they get about right here, instead of sliding from here to here, what they'll do is they're simulating that they're having to catch up to someone and cut them off. So they'll do two shuffles, they'll actually hip turn, and they'll turn their hips, and their toes would be pointing in this direction here, and they're going to turn and sprint, and then they're going to kind of make a small sort of like banana cut here to cut that person off. So their outside leg and their outside hand need to come here to where it forces that person to turn back and get away from the middle. So when they sprint here, their left hand, we teach them to get their left hand big, and they bring that left leg over, and a big kind of over exaggeration, over emphasis on that, so they can understand how to turn that person and stay an arm length away and force them that way. Then we go two shuffles, hip turn, and then we reverse it to where our right hand would be up, and we do that the whole way down. We do it for same thing. We touch every single corner, and we do that two shuffle and hip turn sprint. Okay, so the next drill that we're going to talk about or show you is the tap out drill, and that's the one I mentioned to you at the beginning of the video. So everyone needs a partner, everyone needs a ball. So the person in front, they all start off with a ball, they all start off dribbling with the same hand, and then the defense taps out with the same hand also. So basically these people in front are going to go half speed, and then the people behind are going to go full speed. So the people in front with the ball are going to have sort of a head start, I typically, if we start off at the baseline, we have a volleyball court line here. So I tell the defenders you cannot take after them until their foot touches or crosses that volleyball court line to give them the head start. And the emphasis on these guys for offense, your younger players are going to want to take off and not get caught, but you got to emphasize to them that this is a defensive drill. This is doing, this is about the guys behind you is getting some defensive reps. So if they just take off as fast as they can with a head start, then the drill is going to be unproductive, and chances are you're not going to catch them. But your younger kids, I can tell you, if you don't teach that to them, they're going to take off and not want to get caught. So in this situation, we're going to tell them to start dribbling with their right hand. And for the tap out, we always emphasize that you're going to tap out with the opposite hand, and we go from the bottom up. So it's, if you're dribbling with your right hand, we're going to use our left hand, and we're going to come from the side, and we're just going to have a slight tap, okay, tap up. So if you're watching this video, to simulate that, see what it looks like, grab your hand, act like you're carrying a dish, like you're a waiter, to where your palm's up to the ceiling, and then you lower it, you kind of keep your wrist tight, and you just pop it up a few inches, about 6 to 8 inches. And what that does is, if you were going to use the same hand as that person dribbling, what's going to happen is you're going to basically have to come across your body to tap out. And even if you don't hit that person, it's going to look like a foul, and then you're actually more likely to probably foul. And then also, if you go over the top, it just looks more aggressive. So even if you don't necessarily hit the person's hand, the referee is going to be more inclined to call that foul. So we always tell them, opposite hand, you're going to tap out from the bottom. And then vice versa, if they're dribbling with their left hand, you would go and tap out with your right. So let's simulate that and show you what I mean here. You'll see the head start on the ball handlers, and then you'll see the defenders coming and tapping the ball out. And then once they get all the way, the balls will start rolling all the way down here. And what you'll do is you'll just reverse, either make those people who dribble back with their opposite hand, and then the tap out people tap out with their opposite, or you just have them reverse roles where dribbler turns into to defender, defender to dribbler, tap out, and then reverse it coming back. Either way, you're going to go 2 rounds back and forth. So here, and then here. Depending on the amount of people you have, you may end up just starting at half court, and then they go and they tap out towards the wall. We like to go full court just to kind of stretch it out and kind of simulate it. We typically will get the tap out somewhere around the half court line. Is what will happen there. So let me go ahead and show you that. So you see the head start, defenders take off, they'll tap out. See, they're coming on the opposite hand with the opposite hand, and they tap out. And basically, once that happens, we teach the ball handlers also to kind of let the basketballs bounce in front of them. That way we're not running all over the place with balls on the floor and we're rolling an ankle. And then as they kind of settle, we pick it up, reverse, and go back. Okay, but this is a good drill to teach guys for like transition. When someone steals the ball and they're going for a layup and you can catch up to them and they don't know you're coming, it's a good thing for your guys to know that particular skill. And your ball handlers, we just basically make them do a pound dribble, not a push dribble, for the sake of the drill. That way our defenders can get some reps. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you in this one. Let me know your comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.